Today is put the engine and transmission back into our S2000 chassis day. However, I'm rolling solo because Dave's at home with the flu, so you're gonna have to bear with me while I try to do this one man, one car. I wouldn't recommend attempting this by yourself, since having a second body around makes this job a million times easier and safer. But with that being said, if you're in my situation, take your time because it's a tedious process, as we're about to find out. Sliding the engine under the chassis is actually the easy part of this job. Lowering it and making sure none of the engine compartment hoses, connectors, and the chassis itself don't get hung up or contact the engine is the tricky part, especially when it feels like I'm being rushed because the hoist is slowly lowering the car without me being able to stop it quickly. It's a bit of a cat and mouse game here as I'm running back and forth between the hoist and adjusting the engine so it slides into place. I'm going to shut up here for a second and let you enjoy watching me nervously run back and forth, crawling under the car and adjusting the engine ever so slightly until it settles into place. But first, we need ourselves a proper soundtrack. I'm in the home stretch here, finally. Yes, getting close. About to put the subframe bolts in, but I'm gonna make sure to lube them up. Put some ASS on them because we don't want a repeat of what we dealt with when we were taking out the old subframe. Use ASS. It's the shit. Oh god, that is so bad. Something is chewed up on this thread. It's not the actual bolt that's the culprit, so looks like I'm gonna have to switch over to doing this manually like I did having to pull it out, which is gonna be a huge pain in the butt, but we've got no other options at this point. Dave, you are lucky you're at home sick, because now I have the task of taking care of this. Oh yes! Getting lighter now. Less resistance. It's time for the gun. Done. That bolt, I give it the middle finger salute. I don't ever want to have to touch that one ever again. That's so much work. Torquing the subframe bolts is an important step, since I've read a lot of owners complaining that these bolts come loose. So to be safe, I added an extra 10 foot-pounds to the factory torque spec of 85 foot-pounds. With the front subframe fastened in place, I had to get it back up on jack stands, which, like every other task, had me running around the car like a chicken with my head cut off. Yeah! Subframe, engine in. Getting her done. Now I got one more thing to do, and that's the rear, and then I'm calling it quits for today. I've got a couple bolts left to fasten up on the old rear subframe before it's installed. Of course, going to be using liberal amounts of ASS on them. The other thing that you'll notice right now is this subframe is missing a bunch of stuff like the control arms and the drive axles and all that. We're waiting for some new seals for the diff, which we didn't have, and some bolts that are back ordered from Honda that we had to destroy off the old subframe. We've also got these lateral links on order because these old ones, they're screwed, they're not coming out of there, so we're gonna need new ones. With the rear subframe, there was very little drama since I could hoist it into place with the use of 2 jacks. That still didn't mean it would bolt right in. Oh no, there was plenty of finesse needed. And by finesse, I mean a lot of violent shaking. And of course, I had to go make a mess of myself.
I got anti-seize all over me. Damn you! Damn it. Okay, that's twice. This hole seems way off. It's not good. This is definitely not good. Alright.
Eventually, I got the subframe lined up and bolted into place. Hallelujah.
17! Just had it. Alright, front subframe hung, rear subframe hung. I'm happy. Dave, he's at home sick, so he can't be that happy, but he'll be back soon enough. Anyways, we've got a lot of cool parts coming down the pipeline, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned. And as for the ASS2000, well, it's not looking so ass anymore.